Good morning. Today we're going to work on some back extensions in our gentle chair yoga 30-minute class. So I just want to warm the back up a little bit with some pelvic rocking. So come to the front edge of your chair so that just the sits bones are on the chair and the back of the thigh is free. And then take your hands around the hips, a little bit lower than the hips. So you can feel maybe the front of the hip bone, not at the waist, but down where you can feel that pelvis. And then we're going to rock back and forth on the chair. So first lean back and curl the spine backwards, draw the belly in, roll the shoulders forward. Feel that you're on the back edges of your sits bones. And then come forward. Feel yourself sitting straight up with a neutral pelvis, and then tip forward, arching the spine, lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders back. And then come back, and we're going to work with this movement a few times with the breath. So now on an exhalation, pull the belly back, round the spine, exhaling. And when you get to the end of that movement and that breath, inhale, lift up. Begin to arch the spine, push the chest forward, roll the shoulders back, come onto the very front edges of your sits bones, and then exhale, curling back. So I'm going to show you what this looks like from the side. You keep working with your breath. Exhaling, curving back, and inhaling, lifting up. So here I would be from the side. When I exhale, I'm rolling back, rounding the spine. When I inhale, I'm coming up, rolling forward, and lifting the chest. I can even look up. So let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, back. And inhale, forward, following your own breath. You don't need to stay in time with me. And last time, exhale. And inhale. And then coming back to just a neutral pelvis. Good. Now, from here, we're going to reach the arms up overhead. So bring the arms forward of the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back and down into the shoulder socket. And then reach the arms up alongside the ears. Lift up not just from the arms, but from the side waist, the side ribs, through the armpit and shoulder, straightening the elbows and reaching the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Palms face each other. Feel that length through the spine, the lift of the rib cage away from the hips. And then bring the arms forward and down. Now, you can repeat that if you don't have a yoga belt. I'm going to grab mine. If you have a yoga belt, I'd like to have you make a loop in it. Or if you have one of those belts that has pre-made loops, you can use that. We're going to hold our arms about shoulder width apart with this belt. So I'm making a loop that's about the width of my shoulders. Be generous with that width. And then leaving the tail off to one side, slide your wrists through the belt and straighten the arms in front of you again. Press into the belt, making it taut. And then reach the arms up, and you may find it's a little easier when you have something to resist into. And if you don't have a belt today, just repeat without the belt. Imagine that you have something or someone pushing in on your wrist as you push out, and activate the arms more. Good. Lift up more. Pull the upper arms back alongside the ears more. And then bring the arms forward and down. Good. And then take your loop out of your belt, or you can also make the loop really big. So if you don't want to hold on to the belt with a grip with your hands, you can have that belt wide, as big a loop as you can make it, and just press into the ends of the belt. Lift up, turn the palms forward if you like, and then we're going to arch the upper back and bring the arms behind us. So if this feels a little bit tight and you feel like you're restricted here by the narrowness of the belt, you always have the option of changing that prop around a little bit. The wider you take your arms apart, now I'm just holding onto the belt, I'm much wider, and you can see I can take my arms back farther. There we go. I'm stretching through the chest. That might have been a little bit too easy, so I'm going to come back, bring my hands a little bit closer. Just experiment a few times with different widths of the belt. Good. Feel into a nice stretch of the shoulders. Waking up the joints. And bring the arms then back and down. Okay, so you can remain sitting in your chair facing forward. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing from the side. So we're going to start the same way, seated in the chair. Bring the arms forward of the shoulders, roll the shoulders back and down, and then reach the arms up alongside the ears. And then lifting the chest, begin to look up towards the wall and ceiling across from you, and then begin to lean back just in the upper back. So you want to keep the middle of the mid back to the pelvis the same, and just lift the chest and take the arms back a little bit more. So I'm not leaning into the back of the chair, but just trying to open those shoulders a bit more, open the upper back. Good, and then come back to straight up and down, and bring the arms down. So that's our warm-up for some of our back extensions. Now we're going to do a version of Lotus Pose, Salabhasana, which would normally be done lying flat on your belly on the floor. We're going to do it lying back in the chair. So if you are with your chair very close to a wall behind you, I'd move away from it. You'll see why we're going to be leaning back and stretching our arms back. So you're going to come to the front edge of the chair, knees and feet together, and you're going to lean back and find your shoulder blades on the back of the chair. So this doesn't have to be exact, and if you find that the chair that you're in is hard and is uncomfortable on your shoulders, then you can take a blanket or a sticky mat and put it over the back of the chair. So I'm just going to do it with the metal chair. So I've got my knees bent, feet secure on the floor, Hips are still on the chair. I'm drawing the abdomen in to keep the low back long, and then reaching my arms forward and up and looking up towards the ceiling, keeping the ears in line with the upper arms. All right. So you could stay here, or if you'd like to stretch your legs out, straightening the legs and reaching through the heels. Open the chest more. Maybe looking straight up towards the ceiling, but not letting the head fall back. You're just going to hold this for a few breaths. Opening the front body. If it gets to be too much work in your neck, you can clasp your hands and support the back of the head, keeping the elbows wide. And then bend the knees. If you go ahead, straighten the legs. Bring your chest up, bringing your hands to the seat of the chair. Push into the seat of the chair and come back to seated. Okay, so we're going to do that again. Remember, if this starts to feel like it's too much work in your neck, you can clasp the hands together and put the hands behind the head, keeping the elbows wide. That is a variation that we also do lying on the floor. All right, so let's repeat locust. Sitting on the edge of the chair. Begin to lean back and find your shoulder blades on the edge of the chair. Then reach the arms forward and up. Arms alongside the ears, neck neutral. And then if you'd like, you can stretch the legs out. Reach through the heels here, and then you can point the toes, lift the chest more, looking up, and not letting the head drop. Reach through the arms, open the fronts of the shoulders. Again, that variation, if your head feels heavy, is to support with your hands. Good, and then bend the knees. Lift the chest, bringing your hands to the seat of the chair. Push yourself up. All right, now, if you have a second sticky mat, or if you're on a carpeted floor where your chair is not in danger of sliding, and you can use your sticky mat for this, I'm going to show you another version of this that's a little bit more supportive. So here I have a second rolled sticky mat. I'm going to put that against the back of the chair. Sliding forward, and here it gives me a little bit of support for my head as I reach up, and a little bit of padding for the shoulders on the back of the chair. So it's going right down my spine. And then bending the knees, coming back and sitting up. All right. We put that extra sticky mat to the side, and we are going to go on to what is sometimes referred to as reverse table. Table being on your hands and knees. This is called Purvottanasana in Sanskrit, which means a strong stretch of the east or front of the body. It's the opposite of Paschimottanasana, which is a strong stretch of the back or west of the body. So facing the sun as it comes up. I'm going to show you from the side again so that you can see what I'm doing more clearly. You're going to sit with your hips forward towards the edge of the chair. You're going to bring your hands back to the sides of the chair. You can hold on to the bars of the chair. You can put your fingers out to the side, or you can put your fingers on the seat of the chair, or your whole hand on the seat of the chair with the fingers pointed forward. You can play around, see what feels secure to you. I like the palms on the seat of the chair, fingers facing forward. Then, pressing into your feet, lifting your chest, rolling your shoulders back. You're going to lift your hips up off of the seat of the chair. Okay. So it is important that your chair be secure on a sticky mat or on a carpeted floor so that you don't go sliding. And then lower the hips down and sit back up. All right, so just like in Locust Pose, we can continue this with straightening the legs. First, we'll do it with heels extended, toes pointed up, and then we can reach the toes towards the floor. So, bringing your hands back into another position. So I'm going to show in my chair, I can take my hands through the legs of the chair on the sides of the seat and point my fingers out to the side. That's another option. From here, you can lift the hips, roll the shoulders back, look up, and then maybe walk your heels away, lift the hips up, and reach the toes towards the floor. Okay. Purvottanasana. Breathe here. And then rolling back onto your heels, bring your hips back to the seat of the chair, bend your knees, and sit up. All right, so this could be challenging in the shoulders, so I'm going to give you another option if you have two chairs. So if you have two matching chairs, I guess I can show it this way. You're going to put the two chairs next to each other. Actually, you've seen it from the side. I think for this variation, it'll be better to show you from the front. Okay, and here, you're going to sit with the two chairs next to each other, right in between the chairs. And now you have the ability to take your arms out a little bit farther. So you can have your hands on the seat of the chair, sliding forward, hands towards the back edge of the chair, and lift the chest. Of course, if your chairs are right up against the wall, your head's going to touch the wall. That's fine. That's a little extra support for you. And then you can maybe walk your feet forward, lift the chest. Just let the head rest a little on the wall if it's touching. All right. So if you have tight shoulders and two matching chairs, this is another way to work on this pose. And placing your hips back on the chair and coming up. All right. So sliding back onto your chair. We're going to work on upward facing dog. So we're going to stand for this one and use the back of the chair. So I'm going to get rid of my second chair for a moment. And for this one, you do really need either a wall to put the legs of the chair into, or if you have a heavy piece of furniture like a couch or a dresser that you can secure the legs of the chair against so you're not pushing it across the room, you're going to need to use that. So I'm going to show you from the side again. I've got the seat of the chair facing into the wall and the back of the chair away from the wall, and we're going to start with just 90-degree stretch with the chair. So So that means walking back and placing your hands on the back of the chair, hips over the heels, so you're making a perpendicular line to the floor with your thighs and a parallel line to the floor with your spine. Open the shoulders. Then take a step about halfway forward towards the chair with both your feet. Turn your hands to hold the outer edges of the chair back. Lift up onto your toes and begin to bring the hips forward towards the back of the chair. You may need to bend the elbows slightly to let the chest come through. Keep the toes, keep on the toes, keep the heels high. Bring the pelvis towards the back of the chair and look up. So this is up dog on the chair. And then shift your hips back, heels down, hands to the top of the back of the chair. Step back into 90-degree stretch. Now, if you felt like the chair back wasn't secure enough for your hands, if you have that extra sticky mat, or if you have this chair into the wall, you don't need to be standing on a sticky mat, you can use that one. You can unroll and fold your sticky mat over the back of the chair. And this gives you something that's a little bit more grippy to hold on to. So we're going to do this again. 90-degree stretch with the chair. Step a little less than halfway forward, so you're not coming this far forward. Maybe just like 2 of your feet lengths forward. And then stepping here, hold on to the sides of the back of the chair, lift up onto the toes, roll the shoulders open, lift the chest, and bring the hips forward towards the back of the chair. Look up. Breathing here, straightening the elbows, rolling the outer shoulders back, lifting the chest. Heels high on the toes. And then shift the hips back, heels down. Come back into 90-degree stretch. Good. Then coming forward onto up to standing. I'm going to show you another variation of this with 2 chairs. So if you only have 1 chair, you can do it on 1 chair. If you have 2 chairs, you can do it with 2 chairs. So 1 chair, we're just moving to the seat of the chair. You can hold the sides of the chair, walk the feet back. So now you're in a high plank. Roll the shoulders open, move the hips forward, lift the chest. And here we are in up dog from the seat of the chair. Again, high on the toes, heels lifted, and push back. Down dog on the chair, and step forward. Again, if you have wider shoulders or tighter shoulders, this may be difficult. So get your second chair. And as well, if the chair seat is feeling slippery or uncomfortably hard, you can have that sticky mat on top of the chair. And then you can bring your hands a little bit wider. You can turn the palms out to help with, or the fingers out, so the wrists are facing each other, to give you a little more external rotation in the shoulders. And then again, step back, So you're in a high plank, rolling the shoulders back, open up through the chest, lift and look forward. You might walk a little bit forward with your feet, lifting up through the arms, pressing into the chair. And feel that stretch through the front of the body. Good, and then push back. Hands flat on the seat of the chair. Stretching the backs of those legs. And then stepping up towards the chairs and come all the way up to standing. All right, so that was Locust Pose and reverse table and upward facing dog using the chair or chairs. We're going to come back to seated in one chair. And just make sure our backs are happy with a twist and a forward bend. So I'm going to show you this one with the back of my chair facing the camera, and I'm going to sit in the chair with my right arm towards the back of the chair. Okay. So if you've been following this video sequence, we did this twist in the chair on the twists day. Just gonna move so I'm completely off the mat so my feet are on an even surface. Okay, so this is Purvottanasana, twist of the sage, Urdhva. And we are going to face to the side, right hand on the back of the chair, and reach the arms straight out from the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back and down. And then lift the arms up alongside the ears. Stretch up and take the arms straight out from the shoulders. Shoulder height. Twist toward the back of the chair. Holding on to the sides of the back of the chair. You're going to open your palm and push with your right hand away from the chair. Open the left palm and pull with the left hand towards the chair. With your breath, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, gently twist. Good. And then we're going to untwist, stretching the arms out to the sides at the height of the shoulders. Exhale, release the shoulders down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down, palms up on the thighs. Good. Now walk your feet around so that your left arm is to the back of the chair. Scoot all the way back in the chair so your sacrum is at one side and your knees are at the other. Bring the arms straight forward from the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back and down, and then inhale, lift up through the arms, lengthen. Exhale, bring the arms down, shoulder height, palms up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist around towards the back of the chair. Bring your hands to the sides of the back of the chair. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Relax the shoulders away from the ears and continue to work with the breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn. You're pushing with your left hand into the back of the chair and pulling with your right hand toward the back of the chair. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Shoulders down. Good. And then release releasing the back of the chair, you're going to take your arms straight out to the side, palms up. Release the shoulders away from the ears, exhaling. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, bring the hands down, palms up on the thighs. Okay, now you're going to do a forward bend in the chair. So I'm going to turn my chair around to show. So for this one, you can slide back in the chair and take your feet and knees a little bit out to the side, just a bit wider than the chair. Take your hands to the tops of your thighs, press down into the thighs, lengthen up through the spine, release the shoulders back and down. Then leaning forward at the hip, you're going to take your elbows to your knees. Okay. At this point, you want the neck to be neutral, so looking down towards the floor, back of the head in line with the shoulder blades. And then take your hands to the floor. If you can't reach the floor with your hands, you can use your yoga block or a yoga bolster or a stack of blankets to reach to. Otherwise, come all the way down onto the floor. Round the spine forward, release the head and neck, let the elbows bend. Stretching through that low back. Let go of the head and neck, no tension there, no gripping. Just letting yourself fold forward with gravity. And then pushing into the hands, straighten the elbows. Take the elbows to the knees. Lifting up halfway. And then take your hands to your knees and push yourself the rest of the way up. All right, bring your knees and feet together. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. The light in me acknowledges the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for coming to class and working so hard. I hope you join me again tomorrow. Thank you.